How's it going, everyone? We are back. We are back. Yo! What is up, everyone? Right, so, how are we all doing? I did plan a totally different stream today, but that got thrown into the works as I was told that Paris won't be able to make it today for legal reasons. So I'm not going to get much into that. But, yeah. Let's just say that. How can I put this without getting myself into trouble and him into trouble? Some of the stuff we were supposed to talk about today could breach his NDA. Hey, how's it going, folks? ER Ranks, SanchezGaming, Steve, Keep on Dreaming, Lost, Cezano, Taz, Gaming, Trush, Mark, JH Cola, Diablo, he revealed future. Steam hasn't come to Xbox yet. But how are we all today? Like I said, I had like a really good stream planned for today. It got kind of thrown into the works, and let's just say I've had like a crazy day today to try and organize everything between work and whatnot. It has been a huge uphill struggle to sort things out, but I think I've got something cool, and we may even have some time to play a little games at the end. See how it goes. I mean, if Steam does come to Xbox, it's really going to be. I mean, it's going to be a good thing if Microsoft gets something out of it. I mean, as consumers will benefit regardless, but I don't see it moving the needle. I don't see PC gamers rushing out and buying an Xbox. Yeah, go for it. How do you think it would work if, say, Steam was on Xbox? Let's click on that. If Steam was on Xbox, for all games that requires graphics card that is higher than Xbox specs, games would be able to play on the Xbox. They would. You can play games on specs way lower than Xbox, so that wouldn't be a problem at all. What will be a problem is compatibility. Those games would need to be compatible with the internal workings of Xbox, and that would require quite a bit of work for some games. So not every game is going to be supported out of the box. Sully, I would look into the Lenovo. I actually was talking to a friend of mine today who's still recommending I go for the ROG Ally. Apparently the Lenovo's driver support still isn't the best. So definitely look into that before you pick up the Lenovo. It does fix one of the problems that the ROG Ally has, but it does have the problem where driver support just isn't great. So like the Asus ROG does outperform it at lower TDP. Like 15 TDP, which is the maximum for the Steam Deck, for example, outperforms a 22 TDP for the Lenovo, which is crazy because at that point the Lenovo is like drinking your battery like there's no tomorrow. The Lenovo only really pushes ahead at 28 TDP, and at that point you get like what, half an hour of battery life. So the Asus ROG is good. The only problem with the Asus ROG is that Gen 2 is probably just around the corner. So it's a hard sell right now, especially with them going all on sale, indicating that they're probably gearing up for that. And we've got the Xbox One coming as well, so I want an Asus ROG, but I'm kind of holding out for the Xbox One to see how it goes. Buy it now, sell it when the Xbox handheld comes out. I mean, that's possible, but you're going to lose a lot of appreciation value. I mean, I went to sell my Steam Deck when the OLED got announced, and it almost halved in price. So if the game said you need a 4090, Xbox isn't a 4090. Well, no game needs a 4090 to run. I mean, it can... The 4090 will make it run the best, but no game needs a 4090 to run. I don't think there's a single one out there right now that has that requirement. Right, Sanchez. That's exactly what it is. It's like... I'm seeing a lot of people thinking that it's going to somehow push Xbox from third place to first place. That is not going to happen. That is not going to happen. It is essentially just going to be for us, consumers, and, you know, the ones that are already on Xbox, and it would just give them more choice, right? It's not really going to push the needle. It may sell a few extra boxes because those people that want to couch play and don't want to move their PC and connect it to their TV, it will give them the option to have their Steam catalog on the Xbox. So I can see it selling a few boxes, but it's not going to sell in the millions. Mark, that's different. You're looking to play it at the highest quality settings. But you can also set The Last of Us down to minimum. And then that will work on the Steam Deck, right? So it will never run games better than a PC. But then again, think of... I mean, the best way to think about it is essentially a Steam Deck. A Steam Deck does, you know, you can play The Last of Us on a Steam Deck. It doesn't require, it doesn't have a 4090 in there. It's not going to look as nice as a 4090, but it can still run it. So if you want the best experience from your Steam setup, you're going PC. But if you want an experience that allows you to play with your Steam catalog, and you're happy with, say, like a mid-spec or just below mid-spec PC's style graphics, then the Xbox is actually pretty decent for that. If this is what materializes. Yeah, it was a Legion Go or Ally, I was thinking, but the bigger screen is a plus for me. Yeah, I don't know. I'd kind of hold out for a little bit. PlayStation games are superior. Wait a minute. Is this Colt Eastwood? Lost, are you Colt? Because we're going to get to his video soon. How dare you? The most used card on Steam is the RTX 3060, not the 4090. That is correct. By the way, no one even said that Steam is coming to Xbox. All was is that Phil can see a future where Epic is there. If Epic's gonna be there, Steam will be there too. Gabe won't be far behind. It's more money, and Phil has a much better relationship with Gabe than he does with Tim. But you're right. Everyone has jumped the gun, and everyone is going crazy about Steam going on there when there hasn't been any confirmation. But you'll never get confirmation from Xbox, and Xbox right now is happy for that speculation to go around. They're happy for this news to be prevalent. They're happy for, you know, people to be talking about it to see and gauge how engagement is going to go and move from there in how they want to go about it. If the reception is negative, then they'll forget the whole thing. But if it's positive, then it'll give them a bigger, a better footing to go to Steam with and say, hey, look, here's a proposition, here's the support. Look, as long as Minesweeper has some waifus in there, like we're seeing on screen right now, that's all that matters, right? There's a really good indie game. It's called Suzerain. I've seen it. I think maybe you recommended it to me the other day. It's about you run as a ruler of your modern fictional Cold War world. Every decision will have consequence. Yeah, I think you mentioned this the other day. I am looking. I'm gonna look into it. If it wasn't you, definitely someone else also recommended that game to me. I'm guessing people see me as some kind of tyrant leader. I'm flattered. But keep in mind, there's a few years of delay between hardware and developed games. Well, I think Xbox fans are used to that by now, mate. Well, he left Xbox because he didn't like Microsoft and wanted to compete with Microsoft by setting up his own store. But yeah, I think that rivalry is long gone now. Now that he's a billionaire, he doesn't care. I think Xbox Handheld could outsell the Steam Deck pretty easy if priced right. I was shocked to find out only 3 million of Steam Decks. I thought it was way more than that. Is it only 3 million? I thought it was way, way more than 3 million. First time to the channel, are you from New Zealand or Australia? Me? I'm from the UK. The good old UK with the top hat, monocule, the full works. Just not from Liverpool. I am a Londoner. Well, I wouldn't say minimum specs, but you're not playing it at a 490 equivalent, no. If you want to play it at a 490 equivalent, you go buy, a $2.5 grand PC. The Xbox is just a $500 console, dude. The 4090 on its own is like 1,500 quid. So there's a big price difference between them. The thing is, I am in Norway, and so many people play FIFA, and I think when people hear Europa is PlayStation, people play where their friends are. I like Xbox. Do too, the first party games. Yeah. Well, look, Call of Duty, FIFA, Madden, these games are hugely popular. And people underestimate just how big and popular these games are. They are the most played games. Now, I was talking to someone about Spider-Man 2 the other day, and you know, it sold over 10 million copies, and that's not including the number of pre-owned copies that have been sold as well. But that's essentially 1 in 5 PlayStation owners have Spider-Man 2. That's a lot of... That's a really good metric, right? 1 in 5. I mean, people are looking at that 10 million and saying, well, you know, it's pretty trash, but that's 1 in 5. It's not a bad metric. Gabe left Microsoft before some of us were even born. Yes, buddy. Definitely the shit weather. Don't know, weather today wasn't too bad. Weather wasn't too bad. I'll be honest, I do wonder if the console curse will affect Sony with the PS6. What do you mean, Chili? What do you mean? Last, I actually have Horizon Forbidden West running almost almost locked at 30 FPS on the Steam Deck, and it's not on the lowest settings, and it actually looks reasonably well. It actually looks pretty reasonable, so it works. Now, Dragon's Dogma, on the other hand, yeah, that's not working. That's not working. But go check out that video on my channel, Lost. It's my first Steam Deck port review. I was supposed to get Helldivers because people wanted that one. I just haven't had the time. But yeah, sorry, 1 second, chat. Sorry about that. Man, really rowdy around there. Steam and Epic have tons of indie AA games and have the best game sales. I mean, they do. And that's the problem. Because if people are buying from Steam and Epic, how's Microsoft making any money from there? Now, obviously, as a consumer, I really don't give a shit what a $1 trillion company makes. But if they make less money, that's less money for their studios. And if that's less money for their studios, that's more studio closures. And if that's more studio closures, that leads to less games coming from first party. If that's less games coming from first party, that's more dead IPs. You see how it spirals out? So, it's not that I don't like the idea. It's a tricky minefield to get right. And that's why Sony and Nintendo will become irrelevant. You'll have all those games on an Xbox. But Sony's releasing their launcher, right? Their own launcher. And the moment Steam goes to Xbox, PlayStation is just going to remove their games off Steam. The current ones there will stay, but the future ones probably won't go to Steam. And then you're going to have a whole bunch of Steam players hating on Xbox even more. People really underestimate what 3 trillion can do. It can do jack shit as well, like we've seen. So let's not beat around the bush and think that $3 trillion is doing anything. In the last 10 years, it's done almost absolutely nothing. What has Xbox done over the last 10 years? Released 50 controllers? Maybe 100 controllers? What have they done? Like, realistically, cards on the table. Outside of Game Pass, what have they done? A lot of people are singing the praises of Xbox and stuff, and I love my Xbox more than my PS5. That's no thing. I also think it looks damn sexy with my Starfield, sleeve. It's a beautiful machine. But let's not beat around the bush. Over the last 10 years, they have failed to move the needle. They have failed to ignite or, encapsulate anything. I mean, PS3 got very lucky, Arthur, with Grand Theft Auto 5. Was it 5 or 4? I think it might have been 4. I can't remember now. But that's what turned it around for them when they got the marketing deal for that one. Last, you're very mistaken. That is not true. That is incorrect. That is fake news. And you should be ashamed of yourself. That game was optimized for the 7090. At least get it right. 5090. That game was optimized for DLSS 7.5 with 7090 in mind. Trust me, I know. I've been to the future. My DeLorean is sitting outside. The flux capacitor isn't working anymore though. With the Xbox One and haven't really recovered. I mean, the Xbox One was atrocious, right? Did you guys know that PlayStation 4 was supposed to come with a peripheral as well? I was speaking to someone who was actually there when Don Matrick announced the Xbox One. And they actually had, the PS4 actually had a camera accessory that came with it. And after they saw the reception to the Xbox One, they quickly 86'd the the accessory and knocked the price down backstage. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But apparently that's what actually happened at the presentation, because the PS4 was supposed to have one as well. They didn't want to be left behind by Microsoft. And when they saw the reception, when Microsoft announced theirs first on stage, that shit got 86 so quickly, and they restructured the price on the fly during the Microsoft presentation. I would have loved to be there to see how frantically hectic that would have been. Like, oh my god. I don't think it would be a disaster. They don't sell on Steam anyway. Outside of Helldivers, which is rare because no one expected Helldivers to do as well as it did, almost none of their release. I mean, what's it? What's that? What's that PlayStation game with the plushy character? Someone tell me. There's a plushy character. Someone tell me what it is. I can't remember. Someone tell me what it is. Something but Sackboy. That's it. Sackboy. That sold like 30,000 copies. 30,000 copies. That's no one bought it, buddy. I don't think they give a shit. God, I sound like a hippie with this, but money is just currency. It's what you spend the money on that matters. You rich cryptocurrency user, you. Now, xCloud is actually improving with keyboard and mouse support, so that is good. Look, Susano, just give me 1% of that money and I will be okay. I will be A-okay. They are reactive and not proactive. That's true. How big of an impact really would it affect Steam if they removed their games there? I don't think it would affect them at all. I think PC gamers will go to the PlayStation launcher and will buy the games. If the games are good and the games are worth playing, people will go. The PC players will go. Wanting their own PC port for some time, not because of Steam on Xbox, unless they know something we don't. You mean their own launcher? Well, PlayStation have been wanting it for ages, right? If they have their own launcher, they don't have to give Gabe 30%. They keep all that profit for themselves. And it still did badly. It didn't launch well, even as a Blu-ray player. What up, little man? You want to get me a drink? Do you want to come and say hi? My dude just dive bombed out the door. All I asked for a drink and for him to come and say hi. Xbox Cloud Gaming is fine as long as the blades aren't being split. The moment they're split, it becomes worse. And Microsoft had exclusive DLC for GTA 4. The DLC was locked for a year to Xbox. Hey. You had DLC for Destiny for 3 years. Let's not be getting semantic. You also had a game mode for, what is it? COD for a whole year. Hey, did anyone have the 360 HD DVD? I've still got mine upstairs with a few HD DVD movies. I think it's legit. Yeah, I think you should I think you should come like right here and give it to me. Look, you don't have to be scared. My dude has legged it so quick out that door, man. Yeah, he's gone. Hey, Woodpit, how's it going? But Homer backing into the bushes meme? I mean, Sony had a demonstration of motion controls on PS2 with the Move controller prototype. There were some folk from Nintendo there, and boom, the Wii was born. And look, Nintendo do stuff, they innovate, they try new shit, and they get away with it. Anyone else trying that shit, and it doesn't work. I mean, the DRM probably played a little part in it, but there were some great features that came with that DRM. You know, like the whole being able to sell your games back to the store, family sharing. There was a lot of cool stuff that actually came with that. So it's a shame that all of that had to go away with the whole idea. But realistically, it was the Kinect. People didn't want Kinect. I think people would have got past the DRM, but they didn't get past the Kinect. But having the Kinect with the console was a good idea. And one that I kind of wish more people supported. Because the moment Kinect left Xbox, it was dead. And that is why any accessory that comes for the PS5, if it's not launched with the console as a bundle, it's dead on arrival. Peppa Pig, you guys. Hey, Zrogdal. I don't think there's a Kinect port, so I don't think you can, no. But yeah. What's the news of this new business update titles? Business update? Where does it say business update? Holgrain, where does it say business update? I'm literally looking at the title now. It says talking all things Xbox from Handheld, Final Fantasy 14, Showcase, consoles, Steam, and more. Where are you seeing business update? The problem is, Sean, the moment you make it optional, no developers will support it, right? No developers will support it because you don't... Where does it say new business update coming? Does anyone actually see that? Or is it just... Am I just going crazy? I'm looking literally at the listing now. Oh! God damn it, Grain, you're giving me a heart attack. There is news coming. There is news coming. And that is why Paris isn't here. I'm gonna say this once only. I'm gonna keep it very brief. I'm gonna keep it as succinct as possible because I don't want to get him in trouble either. But the topics that we were supposed to talk about today, right? And take this as you will. I'm not gonna go into it. I'm not gonna explore it because, like I said, I don't want to get anyone in trouble because they are bound by NDA, and that is why Paris couldn't be here today. The topics we were supposed to cover today in our discussion with Paris was Xbox and its future, the Xbox Series H, which is what I'm calling the handheld, the Final Fantasy XIV drama, which isn't important, so we can exclude that one, the Xbox Digital Series X, which we already know about, so that one can get out the window, the new Xbox console, and Steam and Epic launches on Xbox. Xbox in its future, Xbox Series H, new Xbox, Steam and Epic on Xbox. One of those topics was the reason why we had to cancel today, I assume, but that's just me conjecturing. You know, he said in 2-3 weeks' time we will have the discussion on my stream and he's going to jump on, but for now he couldn't be here, which is why I've had to reorganize everything within like 2-3 hours after work, and yeah, that's why I was a little all over the place today. But there is news coming. Now, remember last stream, or was it the stream before, I said end of April there is news coming for Xbox, pretty big news, and then we're going to get another big one during the June showcase. If you remember, I said that. So this is the one that's coming at the end of April. It might not be exactly at the end of April, but it's going to come at some point in the, I assume, over the next 3 weeks. So, yeah. But, you know, Cult is a very, I don't know, the less I talk about him, the better. But Xbox is advertising their best console ever. This fully buildable 3:4 scale mega blocks 360 is coming April the 15th, and I want one, and I'm probably going to buy one, and I'm probably going to build it. I'm tempted to actually do a build video while I'm doing it, but the 360 was like the best Xbox generation. It does look, I don't like the way the controller looks, but I still love the way this whole thing looks. I miss the 360 days. But it's coming. April the 15th. Oh, I've got nothing against the guy. I think the guy is actually a really nice guy. The interactions I've had with him, he's down to earth. You know, he's genuinely a really nice guy. He does get himself into unnecessary trouble, but I also think people judge him quite harshly as well. But I just don't like talking about people on behind their backs. If I have to say something, I'd rather say it to them, if I can. You know? Oh, thank God it's not Lego. Hey, Rabbi, how's it going? Ugh. It's funny you should say Lego chili. Earlier today, I was talking to a friend, and I said, I think I've devised the best plan to get out of work. And he said, how's that? And I said, I'm just going to go to my doctor and say I jumped off a bridge. And my friend was like, whoa, that escalated real quick, right? And I was like, I know. And I'm going to tell him that I need, 3 months of emotional therapy and off work to deal with it. And he goes, mate, you've jumped off a bridge. How are you going to be alive? And I'm like, yeah, I didn't say how big the bridge was. I just built a bunch of Lego bricks and jumped off that Lego bridge. But the trauma was emotional, right? Because the doctor never asks you how high the bridge was. They're just going to be asking, what the... Best get out of work plan. How am I feeling Tuesday night? I'm feeling good. Feeling good. A bit rushed on sorting stuff out, but I'm feeling good. How are you? I mean, no one ever asks you how high that bridge was. So you literally just build a bunch of Lego bricks on your floor. That's your bridge. Stand on it with your shoes 1 centimeter off the ground. And walk off. Let's go. uh, Phil Spencer might kill Xbox. He might do. He might do. But I think he's evolving the brand away from what it is. It's not that he's killing Xbox. He's evolving the brand away from what it is. Susano. No. Woodpet. I didn't say I'm going to hurt myself. I'm talking... that's actual emotional damage right there. Stepping on Legos is like the most painful thing you can do. That's worse than stubbing your toes. That's why I don't buy my kids Lego anymore. Right? Right, Sev? I don't buy you guys Lego anymore, do I?
Nope.
I learned the hard way. And not once, not twice, not 3 times. My dumbass kept buying it. This live, the Xbox news recently has all been about changing strategy for gaming division of Microsoft, and that has a lot of people concerned. The Xbox handheld is rumored, but more are still focused on the Xbox games coming to PlayStation. I mean, everyone is talking about those 4 games, right? And they're not going to stop talking about those 4 games because now everyone's expecting more to go over. And those 4 games haven't really moved the needle on PlayStation, so they're not that big of a concern. Can I make a YouTube channel bad news? You mean a video? I mean, once we know what Phil Spencer's doing, then I can react to that. But right now, what are we talking? I mean, what do we know that Phil Spencer's doing? Honestly, like I said in one of my earlier videos, from where I'm looking at it, it feels like the Team Xbox is just throwing everything at the kitchen sink, sorry, at the wall, and hoping something's going to stick and then run with it. I love it when we all come together in misery, right? Everyone has experienced stepping on Lego in one way or another. It's still just a rumor, right? I like the direction Xbox is going. They are evolving with current times, not on the early 2000 model like other platforms. But at the same time, Sanchez, like I said, they wouldn't be doing this if they were as successful as the other two platforms. They wouldn't be evolving, as you're putting it. They're being forced to pivot in this direction because they don't really have a choice. I'd rather go back to the 360 days, but it is what it is. Well, we don't know if Phil Spencer has killed Xbox. For all we know, the changes he's doing now could be the greatest changes of all time and be the exact thing Xbox needs. Uh, Honestly, I don't think they have much say, whole grain. I think they are still being dictated by the shareholders and the upper suits. I think they're fighting the good fight, but I think they don't have the control that they used to have. All right. If they had 80 million Xbox sold with over 60 million Game Pass subs, they wouldn't be trying to innovate or change. 100% solid. This is what I said last stream. My numbers were a bit more exaggerated than yours, but exactly this. Exactly that. If they had those numbers, no one at Xbox would be saying anything. Power boost! Xbox Ready YouTube channel is the worst clickbait ever. I clicked don't recommend option. It's a disgrace and explains nothing in their thumbnail. I haven't stepped on Lego, but that's only because I don't play with Lego. When I was a kid, I was more into action figures. I have kids, they liked Lego. My kids no longer like Lego. Why do they not like Lego? I don't buy them Lego. It took me like 4 or 5 attempts to learn that after stepping on it and bursting into tears from pain. I am telling you, it is excruciatingly painful. I don't think so. Phil said during the ABK trials that Microsoft Xbox Gaming is a separate business under Microsoft. Phil is the founder and CEO of Microsoft Gaming. Uh, it's a division within Microsoft. It still operates under Microsoft. It still operates under Microsoft. So they still have their own profit and loss, and because of their own profit and loss, they still have to answer to the thing. That's why they had layoffs, right? Because if they had the bottomless check, they wouldn't do any layoffs. Everyone would be fine because it doesn't matter. They're not subject to any money. But unfortunately, they have a profit and loss. And if they don't have a profit instead of a loss, then people go bye-bye. Projects get cancelled. Studios close down. And that is what happened. There'd be no reason for them to evolve right now. Maybe in the next generation, sure. Phil Spencer. I mean, time will tell, Rabbi. Time will tell. Power Boss, not much, man. Had something totally different planned for today, but it is what it is. Yeah, you're crazy, Susanna. Microsoft has more gaming studios and good games to Game Pass. They are fine. Alright, let me play you something from Mr. Eastwood. I had this planned for a little later in the stream, but we'll play it here. Right, let's play this here. Let me get the things sorted first. Let me just sort the audio. We've got that's going here. I think that should be okay. Let me know if how the audio sounds for you guys.
There does seem to be the sentiment, this public sentiment out.
How does that sound? Good? Too loud? Hey, Golden Apples, how's it going? All right.
There does seem to be the sentiment, this public sentiment out there, and I'm not trying to be. I'm really not trying to be a Debbie Downer here, but I'm just saying the public sentiment out there is like people are just like, I just don't care anymore. You see what's been happening this year, and like I said, look what's been happening. Everybody's saying, oh, 2024 is Xbox this year. It's April. And
you know, I've been saying that 2024 is a good year for Xbox too. But I've also been saying what you're about to hear as well. And I've been criticized about this a lot. But it's very true.
Yeah. Nothing from January 1st to April 1st, which is today, exactly 4 months, there's not been one Xbox release.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's been literally
not one Game Pass, like Game Pass highlight. Like we got this for Game Pass.
MLB.
And you can't count Diablo 4. That's an old game. I know it came on March the 28th, or whatever it was. Can't count that because it's an old game. It's been around for donkeys. They're talking new games.
The show, I guess, could be one. But if you look at everything else, everything else has been PlayStation. So the year that PlayStation was supposed to have nothing, and this is supposed to be Xbox's year, it is directly the opposite. What's everybody talking about? Final Fantasy VII. And it doesn't matter whether PlayStation made them or not. You can only play them there.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I agree. It doesn't matter if they're first party or not.
Helldivers, which was a lucky, I don't know, I never would have put my money on that being huge, but it
is. Money on that.
But that's what's been happening. So when people are saying, they keep seeing these articles, these interviews, these podcasts, these whatever, and it's just nothing after nothing. Yeah, okay, there's stuff coming up. We get it. But you have to look at the reality of the last 4 months. And beyond that, it's not like they had anything in December. And you know what I mean? In November. So you're looking at it and just going, oh my God, what is, you know what I mean? People are tired of the business.
Let me clarify what Mag is saying. I've been calling this, because I didn't see this before. Meg, I've been calling this like the tap dancing, the old soft shoe. If I'm going to use a really old reference, like something that from our grandpa's time. Hey, look, we've got this. We're branding with nail polish, and over the years, we're branding with body wash. We're branding with the American Girl doll. We're putting out several controllers. It's all this song and dance, like boo. Hey.
That is totally going to be my end screen, by the way, like 100%. That is totally going to be part of my end screen.
Song and dance like boo, hey, because they don't have games.
That is totally going to be my end screen.
Controllers, it's all this song and dance like boo, hey, because
sorry. I mean, I do love Colt. He does come up with some of the weirdest stuff. But the thing that he said is, it's pretty true. We've gotten to April, and they've really had nothing. They've had Persona 3, which has been a cross-platform game, which has been available on everything. But in terms of exclusive games that are available only on Xbox, they've had nothing. It's been 4 months. Power kind of came and died at the same time. I mean, who's talking about Power now? I mean, Power is the one game. And I can see that going to PlayStation once the game is finished anyway. It's not exclusive. It's only on Xbox only because PlayStation has that weird policy where they don't allow unfinished games or early access games to go on there. Me and a few in chat called him out for this. We said he is surrounded by the likes of Mooch and other Sony-centered fans in an echo chamber, so his view is different from most of us. No, I can see that. But I still think the point that was made there about Xbox not delivering in the first quarter is correct. I think we can all agree on that, right? Look. Sanchez. Leave them cheeks alone. Those cheeks were bestowed upon us with good faith for us to look at and enjoy, whether you're male or female, or whatever gender you want to identify as, even a lamppost. But it was there for you to enjoy. So just enjoy it, because even a lamppost will enjoy it. Power outsold everything, and then we are... Yeah, but, like, it outsold everything on PC. Palworld isn't a Microsoft first-party game. Microsoft isn't getting a single penny from that, from any sale on PC. They're not getting nothing. Literally nothing. And on Game Pass, we only know that they have 10 million players, not 10 million sales. So, how many people have actually bought the game and not playing it through the subscription? It's different. It's a different metric. Now, you can say the same thing for Helldivers, but from what Arrowhead is saying, there's like a 60-40 split or a 55-45 split between PC and PlayStation. How true that is, I don't know. It could be complete bollocks for all I know. They could just be lying to the community. But even at 60-40, that's a hell of a lot of sales in that 40%, right? Power New, Dead Island 2 Old, MLB is available on both. Persona 3 Reloaded available on both. Ark Ascended, that just launched, so that's cool. And yeah, but like, where's the carrot? Where's the carrot? Where's the big seller? Where's the mass? The super carrot. That's, hey, this is the first quarter. You should buy this console just for this game. That's what they're referring to. Now, I'm not saying he's right in everything he said, but I think, in terms of exclusives, and, don't forget, Phil said that we will be getting an exclusive every quarter. Where's the exclusive for the first quarter? They will say a lot of things. But again, none of those PC sales are going to Microsoft because it's not a Microsoft-owned studio. Exclusives are only dead to Xbox fans. For everyone else, they exist. Nintendo thrives off of exclusives and makes a lot of money off exclusives and sells a lot of consoles on exclusives. So Nintendo will say that you're chatting a whole load of rubbish. You know, exclusives are only dead. I mean, last year, exclusives were everything, right? But the narrative changes so quickly. And Xbox fans shouldn't be doing that. They should be holding Xbox to a higher standard. They shouldn't just be throwing in the towel as soon as things go south. What is the actual Steam numbers for Palworld? From 2 million to 28,000. I mean, that says it all, right? I mean, that's a lot of money that, the developers of Palworld made. Not Xbox, but Palworld. But that's all that's playing. And those are decent numbers. I mean, at least it's doing better than Suicide Squad. So, at least it's got that going for it. What are we looking at? But that's maintained, still a healthy over 200k. Obviously, Palworld has been out for much longer, so it'll be a test of time before we can actually see how well they actually do. But Palworld has dropped drastically. Can we click on any of this? So, back when it was peak, and then it's just been on a steady decline ever since. And it's been declining more and more and more. And it's not going up. It's steadily declining. And the updates they're doing just aren't moving the needle. I'm actually surprised Helldivers is maintaining the hype. There's nothing to do in that game. Right now, Steam bestseller. But why are we all focusing on... That's the other thing. I mean, I guess Steam is the only way we can actually look at stuff. But wasn't there a time when PlayStation fans was laughing at Xbox fans? I swear during the Palworld days, when Palworld first came out, every PlayStation fan was saying, look at PlayStation fans, Xbox fans, they're playing the Steam charts game and not the Xbox game. So Lost, why are you playing the Steam game now? Where's the actual sales numbers for PlayStation? You guys are doing exactly what you were laughing at others. Well, it looks like the Steam Deck is once again outselling everything. I somehow find this difficult to believe. I still find that difficult to believe after all this time. I think they're putting that there deliberately just to fake engagement. You're saying exclusives are only dead for Xbox. Everyone else is benefiting from them. When are they going PC? When are they going day and date on PC? I mean, I think Venom's going to be the first one they try, personally. But when are they actually going day and date? I've never seen a vlog media from Xbox. I mean, it is now. What is 67 players? 67k players. Am I a gay test? What? Huh? What are you on about? Oh, I will. I will. If PlayStation doesn't have anything after Stellar Arse Cheeks, you know, they're going to be in the same boat. You know me. And I've been saying, you know, after May, Xbox has a really, really, really strong lineup. From May the 21st to the end of the year, Xbox has an amazing lineup. They've got loads of games coming, and I still think that they're, you know, from the games that they've announced, there's going to be some in the June showcase that we don't know about or do know about, but don't have a release date that is going to be announced. That's going to be released this year. So I think like that's why I've been saying all along that if Xbox really wants to turn things around, this is their year, right? This is their year. There's never been a better year for them. They've started slow again, unfortunately, but there's never been a better year for them. I mean, it's not a full game, and it still made a metric ton of money. What's going on? There was an advert saying, "Am I a gay test?" What? Where? No idea. No clue. Unfortunately, I don't control the ads. What they're saying, what Maggie is saying is PlayStation has started the year stronger. Whether they maintain that is unknown. But Microsoft should also be money hatting third-party exclusives. There's no reason why they ain't. Right? There's no reason why Microsoft isn't going to these third parties and saying, hey, buddy, here's some money, make it an Xbox exclusive. At the end of the day, it drives people to your brand. Are you Alfrez? Well, I have news for you. I come bearing gifts. Since you are so, insistent on this, I thought I would mention to you that you can now wishlist, starting today, Silksong Hollow Knight on Xbox. It's coming. Don't say I am not the bringer of gifts or good news. There you go. Now, there's no official release date, but it's coming. Oh, they done another video? I'm not sure. Is it? Well, looks like something went wrong. There you go, wish list. Not a total one. So, final shape. Now, Bungie is in pretty bad shape at the moment. Looking like they're going to lose Bungie altogether to Sony PlayStation. Who's excited for Destiny 2, the final shape? It's the developer gameplay preview. When it lands offer, it will be day one Game Pass, yes. It is day one, and I think Sarah Bond actually... I thought I had. Yeah, here you go. Who's looking forward to day one Xbox Game Pass? And this is on April the 2nd, so it's no longer, an April Fool's. So it's definitely day one Xbox Game Pass. So it's happening. It's happening, folks. I want to see the end of the story, but I'm not excited. They're gonna screw it up somehow. I mean, obviously, it's Bungie. It's a Bungie. Hey, little man. Is there any energy drinks around there? Hmm? Can you bring me one? And then I think you should come here and give me a cuddle. Nope. Okay. Okay. That was cold. Rejection. I got rejected cold. You see the stuff that I get through? Oh, damn. Steve, I've converted at least one person. Let's go! I'm more excited for the silly-looking Fallout series than Destiny. Oh, come on. This game is going to flop horrendously. It's going to be awful. I'm sure you're all looking forward to it. I have literally no expectations for this. Harmon is back. How dare you? How dare you? I don't think Sony's going to shut them down, but I do think Sony's going to take over. What negative rumors are we talking about? Xbox won't have a good year because the popular fan base never sheds light on the games. Dude, I've been doing nothing but that with my content. I've been talking about Hellblade, Avowed, Indiana Jones, Towerborn, you know, and a bunch of others for ages. I almost mention it in every video. So many videos I say Xbox has a great 2024 lined up for it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, folks, if you're new to the channel, by the way. We do these streams Tuesdays and Thursdays for podcasts. Wednesdays we do a gameplay stream. Fridays we do whatever. The two other major acquisitions happened in the last few days. Oh, and what were they? Because that I've not even seen anything. I don't count Visions of Mana. I never mentioned Visions of Mana. The only reason why I don't mention that because we're referring to exclusives. But Visions of Mana, I'm definitely going to be playing. Sony's evil master plan coming into effect with Bungie. I mean, Bungie screwed themselves over, right? They messed this up hard. But they did it to themselves because they decided to nickel and dime their community. And they're only now finding out that nickel and diming your community and trying to extort them to the point where it's ridiculous. It's stupid. I mean, just look at it. The new update in Destiny right now, they're giving you the weapons you grinded for a year ago or 2 years ago back to you. So they made you grind for these amazing weapons. They took them away from you. And now they're telling you to re-grind for the same exact weapons. Maybe with a perk here and there being different. But it's the same weapon. Like, screw that. Screw that. That's why I stopped playing Destiny. They're just really bad. I missed any more Smackdowns like yesterday. Oh my god. That was mental, man. That was crazy. That was what. That took me a few hours this morning, maybe 4 hours overall to sort out. that was definitely not the way I wanted to start my Tuesday morning. And I think that's really, really good, Power Boss. I think that's amazing. You know, that is something definitely to celebrate. Seeing these games, and, you know, I hope they sell well, because if they sell well, then we'll get more. That's really all there is to it. Dude, me too. I couldn't throw it away. I couldn't do it. I want Last of Us 3. Yeah, me too. Arthur, you can have it. I'd have taken factions. Oh shit! Joel returns as a clicker. Oh my god, could you imagine if that actually happened? Could you imagine if that actually did happen though, if he returned as a clicker? Oh god. Do you know what they should do? At the Game Awards this year, they should have the most anticipated cancelled game of 2024. Just to see who would win. Joel got done dirty. Oreo? What are you doing there, Oreo? Oreo? Alright. Kitty kitty. So, Final Fantasy Tactics is due to be announced, remake is due to be announced this summer. Alongside an Evilist HD collection, including Vagrant Story, Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, and more. Who is a Final Fantasy Tactics fan? This is fuck's anime, man. God damn. God damn it, anime. Well, there's like 20 of them for you to try secondary, each one being different. But, you know, this has been something that's been wanted by fans for ages. Ramza. It could be interesting. Although I don't think it's going to sell well. I think the era of tactics is kind of come and gone. The market for these sorts of games, I think, is a lot less demanding now. The problem is, Sedano, I think it's more niche now than it was then. Right? By the way, if anyone wants to dial in and have a say. Like I said on my thumbnail, we are doing call-ins. All I ask is that you're not chewing your mic, not too much noise in the background, and no profanity. But if you do have anything you want to discuss, whether it's upcoming Xbox handheld, which I think is going to be amazing, by the way. I think the next Xbox handheld is going, well, not the next. The Xbox handheld that's coming is going to be pushing Xbox in the right direction. I think it's going to replace the Series S entirely, because there'll be no point of the Series S. The handheld will pretty much be that and more. But I think it's going to be huge for Xbox if they do it right. If they do it right. And that's a big if. But we have a bunch of games coming soon to Game Pass. I'm quite eager to try this 2K Drive from Lego. Myself personally. And Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I don't think I've played this one. There's Rise of the Tomb Raider. Is that the first one? And then there's Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I think this is the second one, right? I don't think I've played this one. Xbox Portal. This is the third one. Yeah, so I don't think I've played this one. This was one of the ones on the Partners Direct, right? So it's cool that that's coming. I've heard this one is a fun little indie game. This is supposed to be really good. I know it's been coming and going for years, but worth a try if you haven't played it yet, and you can play it on the cloud as well. I want to give this a try because I do, we were talking about Lego, and now I've got an itch for Lego. I'm not buying Legos, so at least I can race with Legos. See, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Someone said it's the third. I thought Rise of the Tomb Raider was the first one. I mean, there's a really easy way to see this. Well, let's not do last three. So the 2015 Rise of the Tomb Raider. So you got Tomb Raider, which is that one there. The game is the 11th main entry in the Tomb Raider series, the sequel to 2013's Tomb Raider, and is the second installment. So there is Rise of the Tomb Raider, and then you have the 2018 version. So this is the third one. So I somehow missed Rise of the Tomb Raider. I remember playing this one on, I think, PC. I think I played this on PC, maybe? I can't remember now. But I did play it. I did play this one as well on Xbox. This was fun. But I never played this one. I might have to fix that. Before I play Shadow of the Tomb Raider. But I'm guessing they didn't do very well. Oh, really, Power Boss? I think you need to play Rise of the Tomb Raider before playing Shadow. I will definitely do that. I like playing them in order. So, from the jaws of tactics to remake, the rumor states that it is coming to Xbox. Final Fantasy IX is going to be a multi-platform release, according to Silk Knife, who is a notorious leaker, who apparently is generally always right, apparently. Take that as you will. I don't know. I don't know if he's always right. This would confirm my suspicions about the sales performance of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And yeah, this could be coming over to all of us. So I think this is really good news, because Final Fantasy IX is a very beloved franchise. It's not the power of 7, but hey, the power of 9 is still good. I said I don't know if he's right or wrong. I just said people generally quote him as being quite right. Because anime, what is it? My dude, what is up, my dude, man? Come on, have some faith. Have some faith, man. Have some faith. Xbox isn't out for the count just yet. They got a lot of juice in there. Anime is like, no shit's given. Fun fact, I actually started number 9. I think I got to disc 2. I think I got all the way to Vivi's village, and then I got really bored. I really didn't enjoy the main protagonist. I think his name is Zell. I can't remember his name. I really didn't like the main character. After what they did to Final Fantasy XIV, I don't trust. Well, at least this one, they won't do any of that stuff, because it's not an always online game. Zane, right. I was close. It had really bad pacing issues, right? That's what I remember. And I got bored real quick. Look, we can all agree that 10 was the best Final Fantasy. That's all I can say. But this is apparently coming to Xbox, so this is a good win, and it just shows that Microsoft's relationship with Square Enix is getting better and better. You know, this would be unthinkable 2 years ago, so clearly something is going right. Or PlayStation is screwing up so much that they have decided that they want to branch out. Cesano, I 100% agree. 12 minus 2 is the best one. Powerboss, agreed. 12 minus 2 was better than 10. Look, nothing can come close to Titus's laugh, okay? That was legendary. That was an iconic moment. It's not coming. See, Sully's got it right. 15 minus 5 was the best one. No, Zrogdal, he's right. 15 minus 5 was the best one. Totally. I mean, the 15 minus 2. 13 was good as well. I really liked 13. Like, Dragon's Dogma in 11 days has sold 2.5 million copies. That's PC, PlayStation, Xbox. Yeah, it didn't release on the Switch. But it's PC, PlayStation, and Xbox, and it sold 2.5 million. I think Final Fantasy 7, or was it 16? I think 7 as well. In 5 days sold 3 million. And people are saying Dragon's Dogma at 2.5 million is amazing on 3 different platforms. And, you know, it's a massive success. So how is 2.5 million a massive success, but 3 million on one platform is deemed a failure? I'm more interested to see how many people refunded Dragon's Dogma. Because that game ran like dog shit. I skipped to Dragon's Dogma. There was no way I was playing that. Hey, Lost. If you close your eyes right now, it's running at the exact performance that it would be running on the PlayStation. Well, when you consider Final Fantasy is a wider known IP and in the past, but it's still restricted to one platform. Dragon's Dogma has a market of 500 million and sold 2.5 million. Final Fantasy, which in all fairness has been declining in popularity, has a market of 50 million and sold 3 million. Ratio wise, there's no comparison. Look, no one needs to be put through that. No one ever needs to be put through that. Like, seriously. But since you asked, there is the whole OST. I think this is it. Here you go. Here you go, buddy. Here you go, Atty. This is just for you, buddy. This is just for you. This is just for you. But you know what? I'm going to play for everyone anyway. I'm gonna play it for everyone anyway because I think this is how we show people what they were missing out on, right? This is what people were missing out on. And I'll stop it there because that's enough torture for you guys for one stream. I don't think I need to put you through anything more. And you all have Atty to thank for that one, by the way. So, any anger, anguish, discomfort, psychological stress, or discomfort, or emotional damage should be billed straight to Atty. Has Has Square or PlayStation released Rebirth sales numbers? Not that I've seen yet. I still like the premise of Final Fantasy, you know, the story behind it, you know, why it's called Final Fantasy. I mean, we'll see the sales numbers soon enough. Helldivers 2 kind of ruins the hype for Dragon's Dogma. I mean, Helldivers 2 has been really popular, man. Like, that came out of nowhere. That really did really good numbers. Well, it wasn't originally called Final Fantasy, right? It was actually called something else. Yeah, Devastator. It wasn't actually supposed to be called Final Fantasy. But Squaresoft basically was going bankrupt. And they were making this RPG game, and you know, when the liquidators came in, the Hironobu Sakaguchi basically asked the liquidators if they could finish the game for their fans, because Squaresoft essentially had the liquidators in to liquidate the company. They basically were going bankrupt. And the liquidators went back to the government and they said, okay, if you're going to work for free, get this game out. And they said all the proceeds and profits from this game go to the debts and everything. So they gave them a set window of when they had to finish the game by. And so they did. And that game sold out within like 2 days. And it sent them from liquidation to profits. And they saved the company. And then they tried to reprint like another 200 more. They sold out the same day. And yeah. And, they called it Final Fantasy because this was their final game before they shut down Squaresoft. But it turned out to save it. And it kind of kept that name all along. So that's why it's called that. So yeah, like the story behind it is actually quite good. And then they made Final Fantasy 2 immediately. They immediately started production on that. They could only make, I think, like 200 copies when they released Final Fantasy 2. That sold out pretty much the same day, and the rest, as they say, is history. What's called one of many fantasies ended up Final Fantasy. I'm just trying to prepare you guys when they announce the game is not coming to Xbox. Dude, it's coming to Xbox. What is 50 million? Oh, in terms of consoles? Well, those are the ones sold that we know. Not shipped. Shipped is 54 million. Sold is 50. Now, how many the scalpers have purchased is, I guess, people, you can nuance that, but they still did buy them at the end of the day. Did the devs get paid? They got paid after the company went into profit, yeah. I don't know if they got paid fully, but I know they saved the company, and Hironobu Sakaguchi became president of Squaresoft, right? If I'm not mistaken. So he rose quite quickly. My sister, she's having a baby. I've got so much stuff for baby's next. Hey, congratulations, Moonlight. Congratulations, dude. I wish her all the best. Fun fact. I delivered a baby. That is not a joke. I delivered, I think it was our third child. I am a man of many talents. You didn't even get credited working on the games at that time? Yeah, I mean, there's so many games that I worked on at Sega that I didn't get credited for. I think one of the few games that I did get credited for was Football Manager 2007. There was a couple of others, but like Sonic 2006 I didn't get credited for. I can't remember if I got credited for the PSP version of Virtua Tennis, because that was one of my major projects. Sega Rally as well, on PSP, I don't think I got credited for. I mean, it very much could be Devastator, but they still sold, right, in the end. Whether they're stuck with them is still beside the point. They still sold. Hey, Quackers. Bob, which guy is talking nonsense? Phil Spencer, 10 years of lies and terrible announcements. Is this why the world hates Xbox? No, the world hates Xbox because Xbox is Microsoft. That's it. Microsoft moved their way into the games industry and people didn't like it because it's Microsoft. People just don't like Microsoft because I am not deleting comments. Who's, like, literally, I am not deleting comments. Who's saying what? What's going on? I'm not seeing anything being deleted. I'm just looking through the history. If there was anything deleted, by the way, I would see it. There is nothing deleted. Gen X Gamer 79 says with only 35 million active. But what's being flagged? Because I'm not seeing, like, let me show you something. Right? As you can see here, on this part here, anything that's here will not be, if it's being removed, I would see it here. It's not being removed. Right. But I'm going to go in here now. Where are we going? Sorry, I was looking at the wrong screen. And is there anything being flagged? There is nothing being flagged. There is nothing being removed. Nothing at all. None at all. I've gone all the way up to the tightest point. Nothing has been flagged. Nothing has been removed. I would see it here. So just saying, I don't know if it's just not being posted at all, but no one is moderating and no one is removing. Like I said, people hate Xbox because it's Microsoft. That's it. No other reason. It's above Windows only because of Activision. Let's not forget that. Without Activision, it would be way lower. You know, Phil has a lot of work to do for Xbox. But it'll be interesting to see how this year will go, because this year is pretty much laid on the table for him. Easy wins. He just needs to take the wins and run with it. But nah, for real, even in D&D, people love to change settings. That's why I'll always be a fan of new settings like NASA in future or something. So the original talks were that Microsoft was going to basically give Ubisoft a bunch of money to put all the games on xCloud. But I guess that hasn't happened, or the CMA has prevented that from happening. I don't know. But at the moment, Microsoft is not allowed to put ABK games, which they own, onto their cloud platform. And to me, that's a problem. That's a problem. You know, when you can't control your own games, how are you supposed to navigate? And, you know, that's one of the biggest problems Microsoft has right now, is navigating just everything, really. It's a minefield out there for them, and everyone is trying to take a piece out of them. They're not allowed to do what they want. You know, they're not allowed to act how they want. They're not allowed to dictate how they want. They have to basically conform to every other regulator, medium, rule, regulation. But no other platform like Nintendo or PlayStation are subject to these regulations. Only Xbox. I mean, it's stupid. You don't see, the FTC or the CMA turning around and having a go at PlayStation for money hatting all of the third-party exclusives. They're allowed to do what the hell they like. You don't see them turning around and telling them what they can do with games and publishers that they own, the studios that they own. I mean, Sony got to where they are right now because they bought 90% of all the studios that they have. How is that any different to what Xbox did? But not a single regulator or government institution batted an eye. PlayStation literally bought their way into the industry. They bought publisher after studio after publisher after studio. No one gave a shit. But the moment Microsoft does it, everyone gets involved because it's Microsoft. And at the end of the day, the FTC and the CMA really did them dirty. Like, I don't blame, to a certain degree, Phil Spencer and Xbox for the ways they're pivoting, because they're fucked either way. They can't do anything. They can't pivot around. They're literally held by the balls in no matter which way. I mean, how fucked is it that they can't even put their own games for their own consumers onto xCloud? How screwed up is that? Show me any other platform out there that has that sort of restriction. Kona is actually a pretty decent game. It's like a detective game, if I'm not mistaken. Last, Sony bought Psygnosis, who owned 40% of the gaming industry during the PS1 era, to basically control the market. They essentially bought Embracer and all the studios. And no one cared. 40% of the gaming market during the PS1 era. Psygnosis is now known as the Liverpool branch for Sony Interactive Entertainment. That's what it's rebranded to. Right? Sony Interactive Liverpool. That is what Psygnosis is known now. They bought them. And they owned everyone at the time. And no one batted an eye. No one cared. And because of them buying publishers and studios, they became the giants that they are now. So don't sit there on your high horse and think that Sony didn't do it. There is no difference here. They did exactly what Microsoft is doing, but it was perfectly okay for Sony to do it, and no one cared. I mean, when you've got a regulator turning around and saying, what does this mean for my PlayStation? That they should have been thrown out of the courtroom straight away. You can clearly see the bias there and then. They weren't fighting for the consumer. They were fighting for PlayStation. I mean, even Judge Corley turned around and asked the FTC, for the past 2 hours, you've mentioned PlayStation as a defendant 67 times and consumer 0. Why are you protecting the Sony and not the consumer? And then the FTC were like, So don't sit there and tell me that Sony didn't do it. Sony did it. And they were feeding the FTC for it as well. There is no difference between the two. Now, what I don't get, and this is the part I don't get, why America, the FTC is an American institution, is protecting a Japanese institution and not an American one, considering, the whole American pride, and whatnot. I find that completely weird. Psygnosis owned 40% of the market. You can sugarcoat that however the hell you like. They bought the industry. If it wasn't for Psygnosis, Sony wouldn't have even existed today. They would be out in the dumps because they wouldn't have any of the third-party exclusives that they have. And they wouldn't have been able to compete with Sega or Nintendo. But when you own 40% of the market, you gain a hell of a lot of leverage. So yes, it's exactly the same, if not worse. Like I said, you can sugarcoat it however you want, buddy. But if you own 40% of the market in gaming studios compared to everyone else that has to share the remaining 60%, and don't forget, from that 60%, you're still getting a share of that 60% as well. So when you're dictating and controlling 60% of the market on your own and the other two only have 20%, you have complete control. And that is what Sony did. They bought the market. Microsoft hasn't bought 60% or 40% of the market. So don't even go there. It is exactly sugarcoating. You are trying to find excuses for it. And you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. You're better than that. Don't. Dude, what does Activision make? They make Overwatch 2, which is pretty much dying, dead. They make Diablo, which Diablo 4 didn't really... I mean, it sold well, but hasn't had the greatest of reputations. And COD. What else do they have? What else do they have? Just COD. I mean, out of those three, COD is the only one that's important. So, compared to all the studios that they got with Psygnosis, V-Rally at the time was one of the best racing games out there alongside Ridge Racer. That was Psygnosis. Come on. Wipeout is another one. Link me the stats. Link me the Overwatch stuff. Everything I'm seeing is Overwatch is declining. I mean, we all know why Microsoft bought Activision, and that was for King. They wanted King, and they wanted King bad. They wanted King real bad. Real bad. They wanted that shit real good. Chili. God damn it, Chili. God damn it. I don't know if you're still here, but god damn it. I've just seen what you posted. You are mean. Wonder how much inflation was between 30 and 40 years. I mean, that matters too, right? What stats are showing it? Where are you seeing these stats? That's nothing. No. Oh, god damn it, Twitch. Alright, let's go have a look at Twitch.
Bullpup.
So Twitch has 3.31k viewers watching one person. Let's go high to low. Oh man, these numbers are amazing, chat. Look at these great numbers. I mean, this shit gets into double digits real quick, man. But these numbers are amazing, chat. Yeah, no. I mean, in fairness, it's doing better than Tower of Fantasy. I'll give him that. You know, I'll give him that. But where is Overwatch here? I mean, Just Chatting is doing better. I mean, Grand Theft Auto is still at the top. Teamfight Tactics is doing better than that. I mean, and even Diablo 4 is doing better than bloody Overwatch. Where is Overwatch? Oh, Genshin Impact and Destiny is doing better than Overwatch. Where is Overwatch? Did I miss Overwatch? Oh, there it is. I did miss it. Right next to Diablo. That's amazing to you? I mean, it's a massively multiplayer looter, well, not looter shooter, but a shooter. It should be competing with these people. But instead, it's way further down. I mean, I'm surprised Diablo is even here. I expected Diablo somewhere down here. Oh, no. Oh, so this is now a bad day. So now the goalposts are being moved even more. I mean, Brawl Stars has more viewers than Overwatch. I'm surprised Escape from Tarkov is so low, though. Man, Rainbow Six Siege is still that popular? Interesting. But hey, I think I've proved my point. So, what do you guys think of Karim? He's lost the plot lately, hasn't he? Poor guy. He's slowly becoming another Tim Dog. And Sully on Friday, it's going to become a Saturday, and then a Sunday, and then a Monday. Well, he's a Microsoft shareholder. He's a Microsoft shareholder. He's been pretty against Stellar Blade. Like, quite aggressively, actually. Yeah, he's very upset about StellaM's. Look, I'll be honest. I think some of the, reactions to Stellar Blade is a little over the top. I think it's a good game, but I think some of the reactions to it is a little over the top. But it's over the top because people have been starved from looking at that sort of stuff in video games. Right? If people actually saw that stuff as often as they did back in the 90s, and I mean, can you imagine Duke Nukem? Do you remember the promotional art for Duke Nukem? I mean, they tried to cancel Duke Nukem for a while, didn't they? It looks like they removed the more risque ones. That's a shame. Mega Drive. Let's go. You know, stuff like that. Ah, it was Duke Nukem Forever, wasn't it? You can never get this sort of shit now. But people have been starved. And so now when they see something like Stella Yams, they're all over it like a bloody dog with two Watsits. I mean, Microsoft could have moved in, but they didn't. But I think this is showing Hiroki Totoki's, real thing. He's now enacting anti-censorship policy on new games because he knows that sells games. And Sony need money right now because their profit margins are pretty awful. But he knows that it sells games. And so, he's now basically said that censorship policy that, the US imposed, he's taken it away. Sony's censorship things are gone now. No more censorship for Sony games. If this article is to be believed. Unless it's an April Fool's joke, but who knows? You can never know these days. You want some yams for dinner? But, it'll be interesting. But the reality is that sort of thing sells. But, Stellar Blade was supposed to be coming to Xbox. Then they ran into some financial trouble, which is weird because Nikkei is bringing in about 40 million a month in revenue. That's a lot of money. But I guess that division ran into trouble. And Sony stepped in and said, hey, if we fund your game and support you, will you make it exclusive? And they said, hell yeah. And then Sony said, thank you very much. Be interesting to see if the woke media targets Sony for Stellar Blade. I mean, they already have. If you look at IGN, IGN said, success is not new, and other games have chosen to highlight the strengths of their female characters, but where a Bayonetta stands out with an iconic character design, or 2B from Nier Automata inspires an entire generation of cosplayers, Eve from Stellar Blade is just bland, a doll sexualized by someone who has never seen a woman. Right? The person that designed Eve is the CEO's wife. So apparently she's never seen a woman. She's never seen a woman. So maybe it's actually there. Does someone have it? So that's her. That's the CEO's wife who designs the character. But apparently she's never seen a woman before. I mean, it's stupid. But IGN has been going after them for a while. You know? So, yeah, IGN has been going after them for a while. I mean, that image that you see there, sure. But if you look at other images of her in other photo shoots, there, it's a lot more resembling. I think that's mean, though. That's just mean. If IGN made Stellar Blade. But why do video games have to be realistic? So where is Marion? So this is another character that was designed by the same woman. Marion. So that's another one that was designed by her. That's Modernia. So you can see that, it's not the first time she's designed characters of this kind. You got Helm that she's designed. Where is she? Being cosplayed, but apparently they don't cosplay these characters. So that's Helm. But according to IGN, it's been designed by someone who's never seen a woman before. Ventura. I mean, if people really want to go after Shift Up, all they need to do is go after Nikkei. That has more fan service in their game than Stellar Blade could ever have in its lifetime. Right? They're going after the studio. The one who published the game. And they just don't care. Because certain females are jealous because they feel some type of way because they don't look like that. Look at Mary Jane, perfect example. Look, I always go by the metric of asking my wife. And when she saw Eve, the first thing she said was, damn, she's hot. And then she walked away. She didn't sit there and say, oh my God, how disgusting is that? And all this and all that. When she saw some of the other characters I showed her, she was like, why did they make him look like that? It's a game. People want to look at something that's appealing. And she doesn't play video games. She doesn't care. And even she knows. There's a surprising large amount of female gacha and doujin artists in the East. There's loads. And do you know why? Because they know it makes money. Who who looks like an upside down egg? Is it 5 or is it? Was there a 6? No, it wasn't this one. Was it 4? Can't remember which one it was. Which one was it where Dante was shirtless? Or was it this new guy? Can't remember. But either way, even just Dante, right? Or even this guy. When's the last time anyone's complained about him? I want to see a fat dude running around doing all those skills. Why don't we get? Where's the you know, where's the request for fat people, fat men? Why don't they ever complain about that? It's all one-sided. Oh, the face of her? I think they could have done a better job with the face. I'll agree with that, Lost. I think they got the face a little wrong. You know, the face is a little weird. I'll give it that. But that's the kind of Eastern design where it comes like a really sharp down on the chin. I think that's pretty much a yandere kind of trope. But hey, on the bright side, we've got a new controller coming. Anyone interested in a new controller? Anyone going to complain to them about them constantly double dipping games on Game Pass? Derek, it came off, didn't it? So they put it back on. I mean, some months are going to be bad, some months are going to be good. I mean, I never got to play it the first time round, so I'm going to play it this time round. But it's called Nocturnal Vapor. But all I'm saying is, looks like moss. Yeah, I don't like it either. This whole Eve stuff, I think, is blown way out of proportion. I think it's stupid, and people just need to lighten up. Mobile games have it way, way, way worse. I mean, just go and look at Azure Lane. I'm not going to show that on here because I'll probably get potentially banned. But just have a look at that game. I mean, that's totally different, right, Sonny? Man of culture. Man of culture. Funny how the face is in-house and looks so generic. I wonder why even bother using photogrammy to scan a model. I think it was just for the body, and then they worked on it. I don't think they scanned... I mean, they said that they didn't use her face. the CEO already said that they didn't use her face. Maybe they didn't pay for the rights for likeness, or maybe they just wanted to design it in a different way. I don't understand what justifies the $70 price tag. For what game, Derek? This is how they make their money. This is how they make their money. Through controllers and accessories. They make a lot of loss when it comes to selling the console, and they recoup that loss through headsets and controllers. So the fact that they're pushing these aggressively is an indication that they're really trying to make their money back. The games will start coming anime from May the 21st. Unfortunately, that is where we're at. May the 21st. By the way, I did put a thing in the comment section if anyone wants to jump in and have a little chat about something, talk about something, or ask a question. Now's your time to do it. And for those of you that are playing Final Fantasy XIV, because I know I've seen a lot of you in my Discord playing, the Final Fantasy XIV and 16 collaboration has started today. If you're interested in the rewards, it's so that's the primal fight that you get to fight in the game, which is cool. I'm looking forward to it. You need to be level 50 and have beaten the ultimate weapon quest. So that's the main scenario. You can get this armor set. That's the female one. That's the male one. And you can get a mount, which is Torgal. You get the minion, Torgal, as well. And you can get a bunch of orchestrion rolls. And you can get the playing card for Clive Rosfield for Triple Triad. So for those of you that are interested, this event is around for a limited time only. I need to jump on and do this myself because I want to claim the rewards, and I also want to do this fight because it looks awesome. Oh, that's interesting. That skill is from 16. That looks kind of cool. Yeah, I haven't been able to jump into this. I'm probably going to jump into a little after stream because I know a lot of you don't like seeing 14 and its story-related content. All of this is just cosmetic, so it's level 1 stuff, so you can glamour it on. The mount is the mount, and that's the minion. So some cool rewards. I mean, Derek, each Final Fantasy is different. And honestly, Final Fantasy 16 is just Final Fantasy 14 offline. In fairness. I mean, if you look at the way these boss fights are, they pretty much copied Final Fantasy 14's boss fights. I mean, they even use the same music, for God's sake. Jobby, how's it going? But each Final Fantasy is different, right? If you don't like one, there's a chance you might like the next one. The new Prince of Persia game is awesome. That is doing really great. It's disappointing that it didn't actually sell as well. Who knows, Jobby? Who knows? But there are a lot of horny people out there, so it's possible. And, you know, a lot of people will be playing it with one hand as well. It's been a long time since people have seen that amount of sexualization in a video game. So, you know, that game is only this popular because of how sexualized that character is. No one is actually talking about the gameplay for Stellar Blade. Everyone is talking about how quick they can masturbate to Eve. You know, that's all they're saying. I've not heard a single person yet tell me how good the gameplay in Stellar Blade is. All they're talking about is how fast they can masturbate to her. So that says it all, really. The new game isn't even Prince of Persia. Outside of the name, there is nothing in common. It's a Metroidvania game. I don't know, Diablo. I was too busy using the PS5 controller as a toy. No one wants to use my controller anymore, apparently. Especially after the wife walked in. It was not a good time. But hey, them haptic feedbacks finally came into good use. Derek, that actually threw me off the first time. I wasn't expecting that. I thought that was quite smartly done. What's with the shocked face, Steve? What the hell's going on here? Nothing. So I might be going on to Riskit's show. I'll let you all know if that's happening. To have a discussion. Fastest one-hand completion. I'm actually in talks with him at the moment, so we're trying to organize it. You know, he's the only one at the moment that's willing to talk to someone that's small like me. But I appreciate that. Despite, you know, despite our disagreements, I'll say, he's a nice guy. So, you know, I'm going to see if I can go onto his show first, and then I'm going to invite him over to mine at some point. Once we have stuff to talk about. Because news in general has been quite small. But, you know, in terms of Hellblade 2, that is really the next big game that's going to come for Xbox. And this one has to drive home, I reckon. I don't think Risk It's a pony. He's been being attacked by a lot of people lately. I mean, some of his stuff is... his takes aren't great, but... you know... it's it's unfortunate. But I'm surprised that we haven't started to see any, news on Hellblade 2 yet. I thought we'd see some stuff by now, but I know there's advertising coming for this, for a fact, at least in the UK. I actually looked at some of the source material for the advertising today. So, I don't know how much of it they're going to be doing, but you should be seeing some advertising over the next 3-4 weeks. Start. But it does look like Microsoft is taking this one a little more seriously. They are going to push this one a little harder. Hey, why so serious? Long time no see, buddy. Welcome back. I'm doing good. It's funny, I had a friend ask when I'm coming back to Xbox, and I said I wasn't anytime soon. Hey, you should come back for this one. This one's good. I mean, it was interesting that they tried to ban this game, right? The original, anyway. I've actually asked around about that, Derek. I've heard nothing of the sort. I can't say any more than that. I can't give you 100% definitive answer. But as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't exist. That's not to say it will never exist, but right now, from everything that I'm able to find out, it doesn't exist. Oh, Risk It. You don't know who Risk It is? He's the dude that cried in the car when the Xbox news broke out. This guy. Wait, why did it unfollow? That's so weird. Yeah, this is Risk It. He has a... he's opinionated. Let's say that. Emotions. Emotions were running high. It doesn't need to. It's within Xbox Studios. It doesn't need to announce going gold because it's not releasing in physical form. You love it, anime. Look at it. Golden apples? What do you mean? What do you mean? It's like Starfield. That didn't go gold until like pretty much the week before, right? I mean, hasn't every Fable had a character creator up until now? Why would this one be any different? Okay, Steve, that's just mean. Ah, just Google it, dude. You'll find it. I'm not gonna mock the guy. Uh, when a game goes gold, it means it's good enough to go to press for the disc. So it's now fully playable on disc. They'll probably still work on a day one patch, which will require you to download it, but even if you don't have that day one patch, the game is fully available for you to play on disc. But the game isn't releasing in physical form, they're releasing it as digital only at $49.99. If they bother to release it in physical form, I'll probably buy it because I'm a huge Hellblade fan. But if they don't, then I'll just stick to it on Game Pass. We're echo chamber chaos. You're gonna be waiting a long time for that one, buddy. A long time. I mean, this guy is a walking train wreck at the moment, isn't he? He doesn't quite realize that that also applies to the platform he's supporting. Do you use Bing as your main? No. No one uses Bing. Tales of Kanzera. Zao hits the PlayStation Plus game catalog when it launches April 23rd. So day and date. How do you feel about that? You use Microsoft Rewards? Yeah, I can't be bothered with that. I think that's the only thing I didn't bother with. I mean, what type of games do Xbox players play? And let's be realistic, if the game doesn't make money, it's going to PlayStation. If the game makes money, it's not going to go to PlayStation. But if Hellblade 2 does not make money and they can't cover their development cost, that game is going to PlayStation to cover its development cost. That's just the way it looks like things are going to go with this now. Well, which multiplayers are doing really well on Xbox right now? Which multiplayer on Xbox has like, I don't know, 100,000 players? I like Halo. But does Halo have 100,000 players? Fortnite isn't an Xbox exclusive, that's everywhere. I'm saying Xbox exclusives. What multiplayer from Xbox has 100,000 players? Diablo, if you haven't got game mode on your TV enabled, enable it. It fixes the pacing a little bit. Minecraft, let's go. The game that no one plays, but everyone cheers for. That's not entirely true, Derek. PC has been carrying Xbox games for a long time. And we've also seen that software sales for Xbox has been increasing year on year since 2021. So they've actually, you know, in 2012, the peak of the 360 era, where they made 7 million in revenue sales, they've now made like a more 1.5 million more, which isn't overly more. But since 2021, after the horrendous Xbox One era, they've been on you know, a steady growth. Wait, what is a terrible take? How many people in the chat right now? How many people are there in the chat right now? Let me have a look. There's 46 of you, so not, it's a fair number. How many of you play Minecraft? How many of you play Minecraft? When was the last time you played Minecraft? Okay, so he doesn't play. When was the last time you played Minecraft? If you say I didn't play Minecraft, you're a hypocrite. And if you say you've played Minecraft, I want to see proof. Because I don't play Minecraft. Oh, kids play Minecraft. Kids do? Yeah, I'm talking about grown adults. You know, the ones in their 20s and over. No, I'm not talking about your sister. I'm talking about you. Yeah, Steve's chatting shit. He doesn't play daily. my point is, you don't ever see anyone talking about Minecraft. Ever. It's huge on YouTube with the kids and stuff like that. I get it. But the Xbox demographic does not play it. The PlayStation demographic, you know, where it's aimed at, the mature audience, do not play it. The only adults that play it generally are the ones that are trying to make money. Man, you love this guy, don't you? There was a Digital Foundry video as well someone said to check out. Let me have a look at that one as well. You know, I constantly see people saying, oh, Minecraft has 300 million players, but there's like 50 people on Xbox playing. I am not watching that one that someone posted. No way. That is way too long. All right.
How world?
So you know what? You wanted to watch this video. Let's see. This was 8 hours ago. This goes against my principles of watching because it hasn't matured. Let's see. And half of that 35% is lying. Yeah, but it's a 2-hour video, Steve. I'm not watching 2 hours of that. Let's check out this dude. Seeing as that's what someone wanted us to watch, let's see what he's got to say. Power World's 2-week expiration date. Because this Nintendo fanboy likes the thing. Play at 10 times speed.
How World's 2-week expiration date passed by a long time ago, right? It wasn't even a flavor of the month title, right? It lasted for about half of that, where like everybody was saying How World was gonna kill Pokemon. It was gonna be this huge deal. It was gonna have merch. It was gonna outsell Pokemon. It was gonna be way bigger than anything Game Freak could produce. And here we are, you know, after Pokemon Day, and Pow World has been completely forgotten. Other than like a handful of like YouTubers who are trying to trick people into thinking that the 97% player drop off is normal. Like Power World has been completely forgotten, and the cope that like people are gonna come back when the game leaves early access is just nothing more than a cope, right? Like the game is never going to be relevant. It's never going to recover from this. It is done, and I do think a big portion of the Pokemon community has kind of turned on the game and kind of like had a
I mean, Pokemon community turned on the game because they got jealous of its success.
started acknowledging that like it was all the game's problems, all of its issues, the fact that like Pokemon does it better, right? Like there's just no real defending Power World unless you're some like uh, mongoloid streamer like hiding behind an anime girl avatar who thinks that like, oh,
OnlyFans, that's putting it lightly. I honestly don't know what they're gonna do with Power World. Honestly, it came out as a sensation, but just adding new pals, I don't think is gonna make it grow. They need to do something huge and drastic. Maybe add. I mean, do they actually have like proper dungeons in there? You know, actually scaling dungeons where you go through corridors and stuff, defeating enemies, and you can go in with like a multiplayer groups and do it that way.
oh, Pokemon should be more like this, right? Like outside of that demographic of people, like Power World essentially has no audience, right? It's not really a game per se. It's just an idea that people were sold to uh what's the best way to put it? Like to lash out at the Pokemon company, right? It was something that people could get behind to try and dethrone Pokemon as the biggest brand in the world. And I do think that's what this is all about, right?
It's got nothing to do with that. People were just bored of Pokemon.
Because this has been happening all generation, right, with Pokemon, right? Ever since Let's Go came out, there's been like this big like rush of people trying to like downplay the Pokemon IP.
He plays Nintendo games and Nintendo games only, but I'd still love to see like a PS5 or an Xbox behind there somewhere, and then just laugh at him incessantly.
Try to say it's disappointing. Try to say that like Game Freak has like lost the plot and they don't know what they're doing. The brand has been in the free fall for years, right? Like I do think it is because like the Switch has like made the jump to home consoles, right? Uh, Previously, when Pokemon was handheld exclusive, like game journalists were able to just write the games off as just being like kid friendly, like trash that nobody would remember like 10 to 15 years from now, right? Like people were able to like just kind of let Pokemon do its own thing and let the real games like take center stage, right? The Halos, the
He's talking about Tetris, by the way.
Call of Duties, like The Last of Us, right? Those were the games that got all the awards and accolades at the time, while Pokemon was like slowly building an audience and becoming the biggest brand in the world, right? So when Pokemon like suddenly made the jump,
PvP is definitely something that these type of games need, but at the same time, it also makes people not want to play the game. So PvP needs to be optional, in my opinion, or at least have PvP servers and non-PvP servers for those that don't want a PvP. Otherwise, it's going to have a lot of problems. Derek, there are people like that.
the consoles, these people flipped. Like outside of Call of Duty and like the Grand Theft Auto releases, nothing outsells Pokemon. And because like Grand Theft Auto's games are so infrequent, like basically only Call of Duty can like consistently outsell Pokemon. And of course, Call of Duty can't compete with Pokemon and merch or with like spin-off material or with like adaptions stuff like that. Like Pokemon wrecks them both in that regard, right? You get a lot more value out of the Pokemon IP with like all the shows you've watched, all the movies you've seen, all the comics you read, all the cards you bought, and you bought all the games you got than you ever would off of like Grand Theft Auto 5 online, right? Pokemon is objectively a better IP, but like we can't allow that to be seen like as the standard, right? Like we
I mean, the fact that he's got a Mario cap there is so sad. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
We saw this with like Zelda as well, right? Where people are like still stubbornly kind of refusing to admit that like Zelda is the best video game fantasy IP in the world, right? When it comes to like that brand of action adventure game, like it's not that isn't supposed to be the case, right? Everyone props up Witcher 3, everyone props up like Baldur's Gate 3 now. Everyone's trying to try to find something that's like going to be able to dethrone Zelda, right? It's been happening for decades and nothing's really been able to do it. But there's always this like line of thinking from these people that like, oh, Zelda, it used to be good, but it fell off. And it's the same exact argument they're using now for Pokemon, right? Mario games got that with the new Super Mario Bros. Games, where they were hugely, hugely successful, but we were told all through those generations that like. Through that generation, that like, oh, it's just the same thing over and over again. Nintendo doesn't know how to innovate, but in reality, like they put out Mario Wonder, and it kind of put what they were trying to do with New Super Mario Bros. In perspective, right? Like, again, both of those games are fantastic, and like we saw the game journalists try very hard to downplay both, right? We're seeing.
It'd be really interesting to find out if he actually plays any Nintendo games. But anime, you're right. But one thing he does, Nintendo games sell. There's just no two ways about it. Nintendo games do sell. I don't know why they do, but they just do. The popular ones just sell. People buy like 9 copies per house. I don't understand why.
People like downplay.
I don't like Zelda either.
Like I've seen
Especially
people,
the new ones. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
to Stellar Blade, like, oh, like
Not
this
my
is
thing.
what Nintendo could have done with Samus if they actually cared about the character. Like, it's like, come on, like it's just like you constantly see this from these people where they constantly find like something that's
Hey,
like
Josh.
vaguely similar to some other Nintendo property, and they try to say that like that thing is way bigger and better than like that Nintendo thing, right? Pizza Tower and Wario Land is a good example, and like Power World and Pokemon. Like, it's just like it's very, very obvious that Pokemon is like far more successful than Power World, right? That Power World has fallen off, that it's not going to go anywhere. I think Pocket Pair has confirmed they're looking to getting acquired, probably in an attempt to mitigate the damages when Nintendo comes after them for infringing on their brand. But like, when you look at like what Power World is doing, right? When you look at how like in the past month they've put out like one PAL, right? And like it didn't do anything to revitalize the game. Right? When you look at what they're doing, like you understand that there's no way this game is going to be viable long term, right? Like the game is in early access. Everyone who bought the game day one is not going to pay for the game again, right? Like they're going to expect it to be finished, right?
I mean,
so if the game ever leaves early access, which it will not, if the game ever leaves early access, like, are people going to pay for the full release? No. It just simply isn't going to happen. The game isn't going to have the momentum. It's not going to be relevant. And I think what's more important, it will not be.
Does this guy understand what early access is? If you pay for early access, you've got the game. You're supporting the development of the game and you've paid your price. I mean, is he this stupid? Don't answer that. It's a rhetorical question.
Able to have a sequel. They are wasting their valuable time and development resources supporting a game that nobody is playing anymore, right? The numbers are going down all the time. Even with like the game journalists doing everything in their power to try and like trick people into thinking the game is still very popular, the reality is that like Power World failed at what it was meant to do. Right, it was meant to destabilize the Pokemon IP. It was supposed to like get Pokemon fans on board with PC gaming. It was supposed to get people like moving away.
I mean, that's the whole point of early access, Roshan.
PC Master Race, but
it's a gamble.
Instead, what happened? Pokemon Day came around, and everybody started getting hyped for Legends ZA. Right, that is the current situation we're in. Pokemon fans are always going to be excited for the real thing, not a cheap copycat from a bootleg studio that needs to be shut down by the law.
My dude is a special kind of person. He is special. There are very special people out there, and he definitely is one of them. Like, Jesus, man. I mean, he is always salty, right? He's always special. Just like this one. I was sent it to me, Derek. Wait, Derek didn't say that. It was Bad Blue Boy. It was sent to me. I was asked to listen to it. It was a bad video. Those people are getting worse and worse. Oh, what is this? What is this, chat? A new Kickstarter game. This looks interesting. I might have to go and support this on Kickstarter. I like it. I've only ever had one Kickstarter project that oh no. Don't you dare put building into this game. I will murder you. And it's turn-based too. Let's go. Come on, do something flashy though, not just swipe the sword. You want it, you want that super finish. You didn't give me the super finish. Coming to Kickstarter April 16th, 2024. I'll support this. I'll support this. I've only had one failed project on Kickstarter so far. If anyone is interested, here is the link. I know, right, Josh? I know. Didn't even know there was a Shadow of the Damned remaster. Like, what is it if companies are not advertising anymore? I don't mind turn-based games. The fuck is wrong with people? Okay, things are getting more risque as I go down. I'm not sure I should continue going down. Alright, who's interested? Anyone? Who's interested in some foam stars? Anyone interested in foam stars? Go back. Go back to what anime? I know nothing. I know nothing. Oh, me? Don't be daft. I got 5 kids. Miranda kind of looks like her. It'll be interesting to see if Shift Up actually cross-gen platform next-gen project currently looking to hire talent in the art department, including a monster concept artist. New projects for Shift Up. That's interesting. Cross-platform next-gen project. I wonder if Xbox is going to step in and try and thing that one. Right. I've got 1 hour spare before I absolutely have to clock off. We're pretty much done with the news podcast, unless anyone wants to jump on into chat and have a discussion about anything, or we could play some games. And you can kind of decide what we're playing that's not Gollum or Kong. You're so tempted to buy Dragon's Dogma 2? Fuck's sake. ATM. What's your problem, man? I didn't do anything to you. Dragon's Dogma 2, I've heard, is good to start, but gets boring after a little bit. Play Oblivion for an hour. Yeah, I'm not into those games, Ventura. Sarah Bond? Of course we did something. Enjoy cast among us all week. What did she say? What did she say? I can't find anything that she said. I mean, this over here, so great speaking to Team Xbox. This is just preparing. This is her recording the June showcase. They've started recording it already, so that's underway. Or it could be the April announcement, end of April. So this is either the end of April announcement that they're going to do, or the June showcase. What did you pop, Josh? But that's what this is referring to. Because at the end of April, there's supposed to be a big announcement. And obviously, there's the June showcase, which they're gearing up to show off all their big titles, so there's that as well. Ah, you popped your streaming cherry. Nice. If it's another Harmon or an EZ video, no. No, I can only take so much of that. Okay, it's this dude. I can do this one. This one I can do. You guys wanted Golem, right? You guys wanted Golem? Okay, I'll give you Golem. Since Steve wanted Golem, this is his fault, by the way. So don't blame me. Steve wanted Golem. So you're getting Golem.
What's up, gamers? Dreamcast Guy here, and today we're going to talk about Stellar Blade because this game has become surprising.
Just to point out, Steve said he wanted Golem or Kong, so here you go. This is Steve's fault. He's in chat. Blame him.
Basically controversial. People talking about boycotts, censorship, people kind of attacking each other. And I want to try and have a very adult conversation.
There is no adult conversation you can have about this game.
Video games are art. And art is not supposed to always make you comfortable or happy or be what you specifically expect it to be. It is a game that has some very big titties in it. And somehow this seems to have...
Why did that sound really, really uncomfortable hearing him say that? Now, that sounded wrong on many levels.
Offended some people. And I want to talk about it. And I do want to do my best to look at this from all angles because this is a unique circumstance. Hi, I'm Dreamcast Guy. And if you enjoy this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. So... recently on Friday, they dropped a...
By the way, Josh, all I can tell you is that if this game gets Game of the Year, it's going to be a very messy Game of the Year. And that's the only reason why it's going to be Game of the Year, because no one else is going to want to stand in that spot after all the mess that the PlayStation fanboys have made.
A very decent demo for Stellar Blade, an upcoming PlayStation 5 exclusive that, in my opinion, is incredibly good. It feels a lot like Dark Souls in that it does have a parry system and a dodge system and all sorts of cool special abilities. And honestly, the game not only looks great, it plays great. But surprisingly, people are obsessively fixating on the fact that she is an incredibly attractive character. She's sort of like an android robot lady, and whoever decided to 3D print her gave her an ass that doesn't quit. Now, typically when it comes to video game discourse, there is, of course, a lot of hot and cold takes. People actually just ripping apart plot and world and gameplay. But it almost seems like so many people are very much locked onto this idea that her looks are a problem. So I want to go through a bunch of different tweets I found from people that either love it or are genuinely freaking out because of how she looks. Now, I want to start with this.
And I just don't get that. People just... It's almost like, attractive females don't exist. Like, isn't that excluding in itself? I mean, that's exclusion 101, right? Excluding a certain type of, physique. It's weird.
The Act Man says, I see people complaining about stealth.
Atty, Sloth looks better than Goonie. Sloth looks better than the Golem.
Stellar Blade and how video game characters are sexualized. Some folks thinks it's a major problem, but sexualizing characters in media is a successful marketing tactic, and I hate to break it to you, but that's just the way it is. Now, this is, of course, true and false. There is a lot of stuff that sells well, even if it doesn't have big old mommy milkers, but it sometimes certainly helps. I mean,
No, it always helps. It always, not sometimes. Show me a game out there that doesn't have bouncing boobies that didn't sell well. Even Dead or Alive, which was not a very good fighting game, did pretty damn well.
If you are playing a cool, actiony game, if it's an attractive male or female, a dude with rock hard abs like Dante, or a chick with rock hard abs like Bayonetta.
Hey, tell
I
us
think
how's
it
the game.
definitely is more entertaining to look at a cool, interesting, attractive character than some fuggo. But okay, beyond even just the aesthetics of this, I'm surprised by the people that are also some people are definitely, I think, memeing. Some of these people that are joining in on the discourse, like, okay, she looks ridiculously attractive. I would like 17 copies of Stellar Blade, please. I think this guy is just being a goofball. But I keep seeing stuff like this. This dude, Kareem Jovian, has been spamming tweets about 12 hours a day about how terrible this game is, how slow it is, how bad the combat is, and about how the game is just a completely overhyped Sony pony mess. Stellar Blade fans cannot handle that the game is a dud on arrival. They weren't expecting this. The slow combat was unexpected by most fans. Now they're attacking Maximilian Dude for being lukewarm about the game. Now, this is actually a straight up lie. Maximilian Dude was doing a stream with his friends. He pretty much clarified, like, hey, the game does look good. I don't know. He's purposely not showing the tweets. Kareem is not showing the clips that he did enjoy the game. It's pretty obvious that Maximilian Dude thinks the game is interesting. And also, let's just be clear before we even move on. Not every game needs to be a 10 out of 10. Not every game even needs to be a 9 out of 10. I would actually say a lot of the games that I have the most hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours in, a lot of times are those 8 out of 10 experiences. Sometimes stuff that's a little bit rough around the edges sort of intrigues me more. Like, I think I gave a 8.5 out of 10 to freaking Helldivers 2, and I have almost 100 hours in that. I platinumed it, and you know what? I think I almost appreciate the fact that the game is a little bit jank, right?
I think that's something that a lot of people seem to not realize. Like, just because a game doesn't get a 9 or a 10 and gets a 7 or an 8 doesn't mean it's a bad game. A 7 isn't a bad game. You know, a 7 is still a decent score. 8 is still a good score, right? People often see 7 and 8s as a bad score, and it's really not. Like, there are games out there that got 6 out of 10 that I thoroughly enjoyed and ended up completing. And then there are games like God of War, which got, Ragnarok, which got 9 out of 10 and is boring as hell. This isn't just attacking Ragnarok. I just genuinely believe it's boring. It's nowhere near as good as the 2018 game. I'm really struggling to complete it. It really is boring. But it just goes to show that just because a game gets a high rating doesn't mean it's automatically an amazing game. So I think he's right on that one.
Okay, but here's another tweet by this very strange guy. Now, I do want to make it clear, I'm not specifically attacking anybody in this video. We're going to show some actually insanely dumb, in my opinion, tweets here in a second, but I don't want you to attack any of these people. Please do not find these people on Twitter and tell them how stupid this stuff is, because I think these people know that these are ignorant takes. Like this guy who has now posted like 15 tweets about how terrible the game is now actually saying, oh, but it's also bad that it's not on Xbox. Exclusive games are hurting the industry. So the game is bad, but also why isn't it on Xbox? You're terrible people for it. Now, I tweeted this out. The worst part of Twitter is that people are getting paid to say the stupidest things possible. This great game that everybody loves is actually bad. I do genuinely think a lot of these people, because on Twitter, if you have this little check mark, you get paid for people actually looking at your tweets. There are people that literally just scream the stupidest thing possible.
And that's true, right? That is true. And I do believe, like, a lot of the Xbox discourse that's coming from, like, Tim Dog and, what's his name? Peter Ovo. A lot of that stuff is pretty much fake rage to build engagement. And unfortunately, because Elon Musk has monetized that, he's actually made it now where people are more inclined to do it, and it's really, really sad. I mean, yes, I've got a blue check mark. I actually got it for the bookmark folders, which is really useful for me to organize stuff for streams and whatnot. It just makes, bookmarking stuff a lot easier for me. I know you can do it in favorites and stuff on your browser, but just having everything here is just so much easier. You also get like other views as well that I can show you that really just make navigating and organizing stuff just so much easier. I've not been paid a single penny on Twitter once, and I don't really care if I ever do. I don't have Twitter Blue for that reason. I have it because it just makes my life organizing stuff better. But there are so many people out there that have, ever since Twitter Blue came out, do it just for, to build engagement and to make money, even if it is just a few quid here and there. And it's stupid because it has given rise to so much bullshit and fake outcry and fake rage and fake hatred and fake this and fake that just so they can get those extra likes and those extra views. And it's just dumb. It's really dumb. And it's why I steer away from all of that stuff. I don't support it. I don't like it. And, well, it's just not me. But, yeah, a lot of it is because you get paid. And it's dumb. It was the worst thing that Elon ever could have done to the platform. He's pretty much buried the platform. I get that. But the aspect of getting paid for engagement was probably the worst thing he could have done. Because now everyone makes really dumb fake takes, including publications like IGN, because they know it makes them money. And guess what? Turning around and putting down exclusive Starfield coming to PlayStation 5 is going to get millions and millions of views and clicks and engagement. And that's all money. And that's why people like Tom Warren do it. And everyone else, right? Because it makes money on the platform. So they get money on Twitter. They also get money through the the click revenue onto their website. So they're getting double dips just through this. So they've got so much incentive to make that title as clickbaity as possible for you to stop by and click it. I mean, it's the same reason why Unleashed is constantly at it with Xbox bashing, because it helps him pay his rent one cardboard box at a time. But, it has degraded the way people use social media. It has degraded the way people communicate on social media. People act, like complete dicks and twats and prats because they know it's going to get a reaction and engagement. It's going to get people posting memes and lols and shit like that because people are attracted to that sort of thing. People love to see negativity and hatred all over the place. So the moment someone's getting dogpiled on or shat on, it attracts people from all corners to start laughing and mocking and getting involved and taking the piss. And all they're doing is making that OP person who started that thread even more money. It's all a ploy. It's all a tactic. I don't get involved with it personally, but it's all a game to just make more money. And honestly, it's actually made everything 10 times worse.
I genuinely don't believe a lot of these Stellar Blade haters, not to be a conspiracy theorist, I think a lot of these people that are just talking about how awful and evil the big titty lady is, I think they're just doing it for attention because there's no way people actually believe it. But here is a weird thing. Weird gamers.
ADM, exactly.
You can't make sexy women in games anymore. I'm sorry, did any of you losers miss how feral everyone was going over Lady D when Resident Evil Village
Woodpit, or he'll turn around and block him like he did me.
came out? We love sexy characters. We just don't like your unsexy version of sexy. Now, this is a take I have seen quite a bit, and I must admit I am a bit confused by it. There are these people that seem to be implying that the character is sexy, but in the wrong way, that a character has to have a certain amount of character development or backstory or plot. And again, all we have is a demo of Stellar Blade. Even if this game does turn out to be fantastic, this tiny slice of it is definitely not the full picture. But this is the weird thing. There is a subtle but important distinction between empowering sexuality, basically a la Bayonetta, so a character that's cool and badass but doesn't exactly flaunt it, or the male gaze, ass and titties sexuality. Now, obviously, this is full of typos. I'm not sure. She probably just hammered this out on her phone.
Okay, just help me clarify this. Doesn't Bayonetta go literally completely butt naked when she pulls off her signature move? I'm pretty sure she does, because her whole suit is her hair, right? Her whole suit is her hair, so when she actually uses her hair in its entirety to do her special abilities, she actually does go butt naked. Entirely. Yeah, that's what I thought. So why is Bayonetta not a problem? So why is that not a problem? She literally goes butt naked. I mean, that boy, Dreamcast guy, probably doesn't finish any game.
I don't even fault the typos, but a lot of people are basically saying, look at this, something, you could be a sexy lady, but the minute you try to profit off it, a la OnlyFans, you become an irredeemable whore. Okay, so this lady, a lot of her tweets, I see a lot of these people that just seem to be like, we love titties, we just want to see them attached to someone who also revels in their glorious gazongas, not an emotionless fuck doll. Now, I don't want to, psychology project upon this person, but what are you talking about? Like, I have no idea. Again, all we have is a demo and like 3 trailers of Stellar Blade, and people are already calling her a digital whore and a fuck doll. Truly baffling behavior. Now, I want to quickly give my take. I've been trying to be impartial. We're going to look at a couple more tweets here in a second, but I'm a big fan of video games as art. Obviously, I've dedicated my entire life to video games. All I do is game and get platinum trophies.
Nothing makes this guy an expert. He's just using a platform to make a video the same way as I do. That's true, Power Boss. Wasn't the scene in God of War? I think it was in God of War, where Kratos is with those 2 naked chicks. That was also designed and written by females as well. Anime? What a Chad. Proper Chad. That's a Chad mood right there.
And try and do side quests and see the weird stuff that's unseen. I love my job. I love exploring video games, and I do think that art, whether it is movie or music or books, censorship a lot of times is just the not correct path. You guys probably don't notice this, but I have a lot of book quotes. I have book quotes tattooed all over me. Got Kurt Vonnegut on my chest.
I swear, if he takes his top off, that's it. I'm done. I'm turning this off. He needs that does not need to be a thing. Only one person takes their top off, and that's Alex. And even those pepperonis have its limits. Bob, what was that word you said there? Securite? I watched about 40 minutes of it last weekend. I was very ill this weekend. Couldn't even go out for Easter Sunday. So I sat down and watched about 40 minutes before falling asleep. I think I had like a sugar crash or something, but yeah, I was very, very unwell. So I've only seen like 40 minutes of it. You're watching it in private. Go away.
I've got, all sorts of freaking manga tattoos. But this one on my arm that you can't see very well is from Chuck Palahniuk. This is a writer who makes books that are so offensive, people often vomit. Literally vomit reading Chuck Palahniuk books. And if you've ever read a Chuck Palahniuk book, this is the guy who wrote Fight Club and Devil and Rant, Invisible Monsters. I've read every book he's ever written. His stuff is at times repulsive. When I was reading his book Haunted, I actually almost vomited. Now, here's the point I'm trying to make. I would never ask Chuck Palahniuk to edit the way he's writing. I don't think it's supposed to be the most mainstream of mainstream. I think art is a lot of times not supposed to just be challenging, but I think there is an entertainment to pushing you outside your comfort zone. That's why I'm obsessed with horror. I love studying horror movies. Recently I watched Late Night with the Devil, and to me, not only was it a really good movie, I liked the fact that it was uncomfortable and different and weird. It wanted to be cool, but it also wanted to make you afraid and feel a bit weird while sitting in your seat. I think Stellar Blade is the kind of game where it's not the biggest political statement. I'm not saying that, wow, the world's going to get changed by how fat those sweater meats are. To me, I think it's just showing the fact that they wanted to make a specific kind of horny, badass art. And to me, that is fine. Now, I want to take a look at these last 2 seconds.
Okay. I got a question. Chat, I've got a question. The last 5 minutes that he was rambling, and I do mean rambling, what the hell did it have to do with Stellar Blade? He lost me. What did it have to do with Stellar Blade? Devastator? I'll have a look in a bit, mate. Because he literally lost me there. Like, my dude started advertising a book midstream and doing a promo for a book. I literally started to tune out. It literally had no relevance. This video feels weird. I'm to the point where I'm getting tired.
That's a tweets. One by this guy named Tark's Gauntlet. This guy, very small content creator, but he's actually been following me for years, and I've been following for him. I think his tweets are great. He talks a lot about RPGs and stuff, and he says this: overt sexualization in a game is just as much a stylistic choice as making a game cel-shaded, and equally as valid. I got to admit, I think this is the best take I've seen of anybody literally on the entire internet, of that making a character that is a horny badass. This is not just a...
Okay, he needs to stop saying horny. It doesn't work. It really doesn't work. He needs to stop saying it. It's starting to get cringe now. He really needs to stop saying that word.
choice. It is a stylistic decision, which you kind of have to support. Like, even if you end up not buying the game, I'm not telling you that you got to line up and pre-order this. I'm saying that I find it interesting that it is a choice. They did decide to make it look this way specifically, and the people that are pushing back against it, that's your decision to criticize or support something. But it's weird that people are trying to act like it's just for the gooners. You know, don't try and shame people for playing it. It is what it is. That's great. Now, I want to end this video off with some tweets by Miss Click. She's a good friend of mine. She and I have done podcasts together for years and years and years. She is predominantly a Nintendo streamer. She's done some very big viral streams for Zelda and Splatoon and stuff like that. But she basically chimed in with a take that I think is very interesting. The Stellar Blade discourse is embarrassing. Like, honestly, as a woman, I'm so tired of everything having to be about my body. You want success? You gotta show your body. You have success? Well, it's because you showed your body. Too skinny? Ugly body. Too curvy? Ugly body. Get work done? Destroyed your body. I know men have their struggles too. I'm a huge advocate for fighting through our challenges. It helps if we can together. I'm just tired of this in particular today.
And once again, what is Miss Click even talking about? I don't even know. Either this video has severely shut my brain off to the point where I just want to go bed, or I'm missing the point that she's even saying. Is she saying that she's tired of people saying that she has it easy to get to higher fame because she's a woman, or because it's harder for her because she's a woman? I don't. What is she saying? Like, what is she actually saying there? I don't actually know. Steve, after the shit you put me through this morning, this is nothing. You wait and see what else I'm going to put you through. She's saying women, yeah, I get that. But what is she saying? Derek, what the fuck? Susanna, that's what I was understanding.
Now, she makes it pretty clear that the whole point of this is that it sucks that anytime anybody tries to do anything, it's got to be commented upon by the masses. You know, oh, I'm sorry, Stellar Blade is too attractive. Oh, I'm sorry that Stellar Blade is just too sexy. We all have to chime in and vote upon it. I almost think non-opinion is, in a way, the correct opinion. Buy the game, don't buy the game. Beat the game, try the demo, ignore it. All of these are correct options, but I do think the weirdos that are trying to, in their own way, post upon it, being like, "Oh, this is all part of the male gaze. It's toxic sexuality." This stuff to me, I don't know. Positive, negative, do whatever you want with it, but my take is definitely just, I like the game. I'm gonna buy it. I'm definitely gonna review it. But the people that are clearly seethingly mad, touch grass. And maybe someday touch a titty. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, these are just...
Why did he have to end with that? He's literally telling people to go out and commit sexual assault. I am so much dumber for this video. I really am. I am more stupid for this video than I could ever imagine. I think depending on the game serve, there's a room for, and based on the narrative, there's a room for all sorts, right? There's room for all sorts, but to turn around and say that you can't have pretty women in a video game is just stupid. I mean, just look at Lara Croft for all through the years, right? All you have to do is look at Lara Croft. I mean, for fuck's sake, all you have to do is just go and look at Genshin Impact and ask yourself, why the fuck is this game so popular? You know? I mean, literally, it's there for everyone to see. It is literally there for everyone to see why this game is popular. Why is Nikke popular? It is, and this is the Shift Up made this, by the way. It's there for everyone to see why this game is popular. I mean, this actually has a really good story, mind you. But do you know what I mean? It's clear that this sort of thing sells. There's no disputing it. Right? There is no disputing that it sells. It attracts people, both male and female. But to turn around and say that it doesn't sell is just fucking stupid. I don't know. It's exhausting. And that video has really tired me out. So I think I'm just going to call it a day there. Because I am really, really tired. That actually killed some brain cells. I'm going to be back tomorrow. We're going to be playing some games. So for those of you that want to hang out and play some video games tomorrow. And Thursday we'll have another podcast stream. I will check out those videos that you sent me, Devastator. And if there's stuff that I can fit into a show, I will play them on Thursday. And we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I don't know. This whole news of how, she's too attractive there. I mean, what the fuck is this? Okay, I'm just gonna end it there. That's it. I'm just gonna end it there. I am just going to end it there. I'm just gonna end it there. I think that's enough. That's enough, chat. That's enough emotional damage for one night. That's enough emotional damage for one night. It is. That is enough emotional damage for one night. Have a good night, folks. Take it easy, folks. Have a good night. I need to go get my brain and mind examined. Oh, God, that was bad. That video literally made me so much more thick. I can't believe it.